Hello everyone, this is our daily dose of the metal news. We're gonna start with Loudwire. Devil Driver withdraw from Bloodstock Festival due to doctor's advice for Des Fefara. Well, apparently Des, which is Devil Driver frontman, had COVID in 2021 and COVID left him with some heart problems. And he says that he had to live downstairs in his house, that he could barely walk. So it was pretty bad. And doctor's recommendation was to suspend, withdraw from the Bloodstock Festival. Um, Moving on. Here we see Kirk Hammett uh, showing his apparently a rare guitar, and well, it's a cool face right here. And this is the guitar. No, it's pretty cool. Les Paul, and it's a 1969 Les Paul Standard. Was custom ordered with a black finish and Bixby, making it one of the rarest Les Paul ever made. That's a pretty cool guitar. Moving on, I didn't know that was Ozzy right here. Well, when we see album cover, we kind of know there are so much album cover. I know it's a very amazing album. It's a very iconic album from Ozzy, but I didn't stop to see that it was him, this werewolf. Would you look at that? Oh, that's amazing, dude. All right. Yeah, I remember this video clip from Rocket League Movement. Actually, it's Ozzy. Yeah. Well, that's pretty savage. Moving on to um, Wolf Hoffman. That's from Accept. Thought heavy metal was dead and would never come back after rise of the grunge in the 90s. So this is a pretty that's a pretty big discussion. Many musicians talked about the 90s and how grunge scene affected metal bands and metal scene and metal radios. Well, apparently Hoffman is no different, and he says around here that nobody knew where the music would turn, and nobody knew where the music where no where they're heading to and what people wanted to hear. And he admitted that that didn't feel comfortable with grunge and alternative, and that they tried to adjust a little bit to the times, but you know they they were all struggling, and they were kind of lost, and they didn't know the direction to came when the grunge scene hit the music market. Well, Exodus and Slayer guitarist Gary Holt to release A Fabulous Disaster. Well, Gary Holt is pretty iconic guitarist, and he will release Book of Memories, and in a press release was described a no-hold-barred memo from the preeminent Thrash's life in metal, from its humble but not quiet beginnings in San Francisco Bay Area through today currently resurgence in worldwide popularity as he lived big, played fast and crashed hard, written in collaboration with Adam Tipidillin. Well, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of stories to tell, and that would be very cool. That's a cool shirt too. We know what is right here. Um, Moving on, Henry Rollins has put his life savings into a project which he hopes to launch next year in Nashville. Well, Henry is a pretty iconic frontman too with Black Flag, and he appeared in TV series like Sons of Anarchy and other movies. And he says around here that it's something that he is working on a couple of years, but he can't say a lot. And all I can say, he says, is that we're looking at launching 14 months from now in Nashville, and it will make people smile until their faces hurt. Yeah, it sounds like Holland's telling us that. Well, pretty cool. And there are another cool news. Let's see here. Ex Van Halen bassist Michael Anthony forms new band with Bon Jovi's Phil X and Aerosmith John Douglas. Well, it's a pretty dream team. You know, it will be cool. Some videos. A Primus and Tool member to perform at Atmos Intimate Los Angeles benefit concert. That's pretty cool. 70,000 tons of metal announces 2024 cruise dates. Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx to guest Dolly Parton's rock album. That's cool. And let's move on to The Pit, which they say Linkin Park Meteora album video received 4K remastered ahead of albums at 20th anniversary. You know, that's a pretty cool album. Marked me a lot, and that's you can visit The Pit to see this video, this hilarious video of Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters paying tribute to Gwars. Dave Broke, you know, Dave is a very hilarious guy, so it would be cool. Nikki Sixx, some baby metal. So moving on. Well, this is a pretty more complex news. And Mayhem concert in Brasilia. Well, this came from Headbangers News. It's a Brazilian portal. Mayhem concert in Brasilia is cancelled by order of the public ministry due to discrimination accusations. So you can read here about, and they are accused about using Nazi symbols in his suit and, you know, his performance. Following up, Whiplash.net, that's the biggest portal in Brazil, said the same thing. And the public ministries say there is evidence that members and former members of the band are involved in neo-Nazi apologies, suicide, cannibalism, and murder, and as well as various types of violence and discrimination. And, you know, well, this is a pretty close environment to metal. You know, talk about violence and all this stuff, you know, such as Cannibal Corpse, and many bands has done it in a very ludic way, in a very, you know, fantasy way. And but I guess people in Brazil doesn't want people to, you know, bands wearing Nazi symbols and all, you know, because that is crime, you know. Well, moving on to metal.de. It's a Dutchland website. Metal Church new album is in sight. So the new album marks the first release since the tragic death of legendary frontman Mike Howe in July 2021. It's also the first album to feature new vocalist Mark Lopez, who came on board in the summer of 2022. And the current lineup is founding guitarist Kurt, Rick, and bassist Steve Unger, and drummer Sted Howland. So Metal Church, new album. Yeah, following up to metal news from France, Gurkhas is a death metal band from France, is reforming. The Lennon band broke up in 2003 after releasing 2 albums, Engraved in Blood, Flesh and Souls, and, you know, well,
This band is coming back. You know, it's a French death metal band. That's cool, I guess. Gurkhas. Cool then. Well, getting close to the end, this day in metal Twitter account has reminded that today marks the release date of the album Virtual 11 from Iron Maiden, um, the Silent Virgil from Memoriam, and this is a great one. Sad Wings of Destiny from Judas Priest, all released in March 23rd, and Insane Society from Wrath. Also Alive and Well from Quiet Riot, Van Halen 2 from Van Halen, um, Wisconsin Death from Static X, and, and Power Plant from Gamma Ray, No Exit from Fate's Warning. This is the albums released today. And also Dr. Big Rock, Blog and Roll, and Loudwire reminded us that today marks the birthday of Phil Lanson from Uriah Heep, Damon Albarn from Blur, Luciana Red, Jimmy Miller, and Abe Laborio. So that's it. Thanks, folks. Thanks for your time. Tell us down below your thoughts about today's news, which with clean and respectful comments, of course. Don't forget to express yourself the way you wish with hitting the like or dislike button. Subscribe and turn on the notifications from daily reminders. For daily reminders, the Metal News is independent, so in order to maintain the channel, leaving a donation through Patreon would be very nice. I live as the João Lobo, and you've been killed by the Metal News. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.